You see, Moses had grown up as a prince in Egypt. He was well educated, he was well trained, but Moses knew he was Jewish and he longed to be united with his own people. But clearly, Moses knew that he was a Hebrew. And now Moses is 40 years old. 40 years old, he's been an Egyptian prince for over 30 years. One day, when Moses had grown up, he went out to his people and looked on their burdens, and he saw an Egyptian beating a Hebrew, one of his people. He looked this way and that, and seeing no one, he struck down the Egyptian and hid him in the sand. When he went out the next day, behold, 2 Hebrews were struggling together. And he said to the man in the wrong, "Why do you strike your companion?" And he answered, "Who made you a prince and a judge over us? Do you mean to kill me as you killed the Egyptian?" Then Moses was afraid and thought, "Surely the thing is known." When Pharaoh heard of it, he sought to kill Moses. But Moses fled from Pharaoh and stayed in the land of Midian, and he sat down by a well. Now here's the picture. Moses was dealing with rejection. He'd been rejected by his people, and now he'd been rejected by the Pharaoh. And what happened to Moses can better be understood by seeing how he was remembered. We see that in Hebrews in chapter 11, starting with verse 24. By faith, Moses, when he was grown up, refused to be called the son of Pharaoh's daughter, choosing rather to be mistreated with the people of God than to enjoy the fleeting pleasures of sin. He considered the reproach of Christ greater wealth than the treasures of Egypt, for he was looking to the reward. Now here, this is important to capture. Moses was living by faith. Didn't even know it at the time. Didn't even really understand it. He was learning. He started learning this later in life. Not at this point in his life, not at 40 years old. Didn't really start happening until after 40. But he started looking by faith ahead to what was to happen. And that's the way we are to live our life. Looking by faith to what's ahead. What is it that God is up to? What is it that God wants to do? And we have to accept that by faith. We don't know what God is up to. We don't know what's going to happen. But we do know that God is up to something. And we have to accept that by faith. You see, Moses identified with the Hebrews, but he was in this difficult position. He was considered an Egyptian prince. He had, after all, been adopted. And as he sought to connect with his people, he was rejected. Not only by his people, but as I just said, also by Pharaoh. Acts 7, verse 35. This Moses, whom they rejected, saying, "Who made you a ruler and a judge?" This man God sent as both ruler and redeemer by the hand of the angel who appeared to him in the bush. But that became the turning point in dealing with his rejection. Moses was sent by God both as a ruler and redeemer, but he was rejected. And in our passage today in Exodus, we see that rejection affected Moses so much that he ran away and hid on the other side of the Midian desert.